Hey guys, I'm back again. Decided to make another video because I had a little time. It's raining today, so I'm in the gazebo instead of back near the woods. Smoking Romeo e Julieta cigarellos. They're pretty good. They don't last very long. That's why I'm smoking them. I'm not smoking a full cigar today or anything, but they're pretty good. They do make them in full size, but I only ever really get the cigarellos. So anyway, today I think I wanted to talk about technology today, more specifically technology addiction. I guess maybe more specifically even my struggles with technology and how I use it. I think I use it a little too much, maybe. Use it as a crutch sometimes. So yeah, I use it. I think I mentioned this in another video. I kind of use technology as a crutch for my anxiety sometimes, to distract myself as a distraction, which obviously is not good. But I often go through phases where I try to cut down on my usage, and then inevitably something will happen or something, and I'll go back to using it more, and then I'll cut back, and I'll go back, cut back, etc. Usually it goes along with other things that I'm trying to do in my life to make my life better at that time. Like I'll go through like a self-improvement phase where I do a bunch of stuff, one of them being cutting back on technology usage. Got some in my lungs there, whoops. Yeah, cutting back on technology usage is one of the things. And I guess something I notice whenever I go through one of those phases is I always notice in a weird way there's a couple things that happen when you stop using technology first of all, I should say how I use it to preface. The way I use it poorly is I watch a lot of YouTube, I guess, which isn't always bad, of course, but I watch it too much. And I listen to a lot of music. Those are my main two things. I work in the trades, and I work a job that allows me to listen to music while working. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes if I'm doing certain things, I am able to listen to music while working, and it doesn't affect my work at all. And usually I'll either listen to music or listen to YouTube videos or podcasts or something, and I will use it as a way to distract my mind instead of thinking essentially while working. I'll do that instead, which probably is not healthy. So that I would argue is my main problems, mainly YouTube and videos, and then music is a second, but I don't really play too many video games or anything like that. That's what I would say my struggles are. Another thing is if I get home and I'm tired and I don't feel like doing anything, like engaging my brain in any way, I'll just turn it off and watch YouTube or something instead, which is also not healthy. So that's what I'm talking about here. Now a couple things happen for me when I stop doing that. One is time moves a lot slower. I noticed that time moves so much slower. Like an hour when you're watching YouTube or something feels like it goes by like that, but an hour when you're either just sitting there thinking, or where you're trying to figure out something to do, or you're drawing or doing something productive, an hour is a lot longer. An hour goes by a lot longer. So time slows down a lot. You have a lot more time, or at least I find I have a lot more time when I do that. And another thing that happens is, in a weird way, I just kind of feel more like a human being. Like I feel more like a person. Like I'm not just like working, distracting myself and like fast forwarding time. It's almost like a fast forward. Like mindlessly watching YouTube or listening to music or something is like fast forwarding. Like you do your work and you fast forward till whatever I'm doing in the evening, and then right before bed I'll fast forward until I'm so tired I finally go to sleep. Then I wake up and I'll fast forward, and it's kind of like that, for me anyway. So instead of doing something productive, which is what I should do, I'm fast forwarding, I guess. And I want to also say, this isn't like every single day. Like I say this is a problem and stuff. It's certainly not the most detrimental thing. Oh man, the rain's picking up. I certainly could be worse, is what I'll say. I'm not, trying to say I'm like crippling, like it's not affecting my work or anything, but it's definitely not where I'd like it to be. So, today or yesterday and today I've been thinking about it. Today I've been really trying to not use technology or not, be on YouTube and stuff. I've been doing chores and all that kind of stuff and working, and I have not used technology while doing that stuff. Like while I'm doing my chores, usually I listen to music or listen to a YouTube video or podcast or something, and I haven't been doing that. Another big one, it's like a joke online, is like watching YouTube while you eat. That's another thing, especially if you eat alone. Obviously, if you eat with other people, usually you don't watch YouTube. But if I'm eating alone, like lunch or something, I will often watch YouTube while doing it. And if you just sit there and just eat lunch and just think, it's just so much, I don't know, it's hard at first because you definitely get withdrawals and you feel like your brain isn't engaged. But over time, you find it's really a lot healthier if you don't do that kind of stuff. If you just let yourself sit and think. That's something I think we've really lost. Just sitting and thinking, You don't have to be distracted 24/7, because if you're distracted 24/7 when you're not doing something, you're never going to come up with any new ideas or come up with any you're not going to think about anything really that I think you should be thinking about. That I think, everybody needs time to not even creatively or think of new ideas, just to process things that happen to them, just to process things in your life. You need that time, that silence to process the things in your life. And I think if you don't give yourself that time to process all that, then bad things can come from it. You can be more stressed. And even though, for me, I'm trying to run away from my anxiety and trying not to think about my anxiety, I think in a lot of ways it can make it worse, because I don't actually have any time to sit there and process anything I'm worried about and think about it rationally. I just push it out of my mind and it creeps back in because I don't give myself any time to think about it, to like I said, process it. So that's something I've been thinking about for the past 2 days. I'm really gonna try. And of course, like I said, I always goes in waves. I'll have a month or something where I'm really good and I'm feeling great and I'm feeling so good as time is moving slower. I'm getting all this stuff done. I'm having these hobbies. I'm feeling great, and then something will happen and I'll fall back into it, and then it'll be a couple months, and then eventually it'll be a time like this where I come back, and to a degree I get that that's inevitable. I'm not too upset by it. Of course I'd like to be like this permanently. I'd like to have this way of living or way of thinking permanently, not using technology too much, or not using technology as a distraction, I'll say, or not having an addiction to technology, because I would probably classify it as an addiction for me at this point. I would probably say it is an addiction. I would like to be like that permanently, but I know in my head it probably realistically is not gonna happen. It's gonna be ups and downs, which life is ups and downs. So it's kind of, you just got to take it in stride and just you want to come in, Clara? My dog wants to come in the gazebo. It's raining, I know. You want to come in? Come on. Oh. You good? But yeah, I don't know. It's just something that's been on my mind and I wanted to make a video about. Obviously, I'm using technology now to make this video, but I see this as kind of a creative or venting thing. I don't see it as the same thing as consuming content, obviously. I do consider myself kind of a neo-Luddite, or Luddite, however you pronounce it, I don't know. Not really so much politically, more philosophically. I try in my own life to not use technology as much as possible, and I think a lot of that stems from my personal addiction with technology and me being so angry about it and so frustrated with myself that it kind of, creeps into my thinking that technology causes a lot of harm, which I do genuinely believe. But, I don't know, it's hard for me being, sorry about the noise of the road over there. It's hard for me, having these thoughts about how technology is damaging, especially to young people, and how technology lowers your standard of living and makes you, more stressed and all this stuff, and then being addicted to it and not really adhering to my own beliefs. It's very difficult for me to grapple with, but it's something that I struggle through and I try my best to overcome. and hopefully, you know, can overcome. And I can overcome it. It's just difficult. And I'm hoping that, you know, making these videos, I can kind of have accountability to a degree. You know, maybe talk about my struggles or what's going on these videos. But yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult. But it has been good. Today has been good. I haven't, you know, done, like I said, I haven't done as much. And you know, like when I'm driving or something, sometimes even when I'm driving, I won't even listen to music. I'll just sit there and think, and that's very cathartic in a way. Or if I'm sitting on my bed or something, I'll just think instead of scrolling through whatever social media or watching YouTube or something. Or, you know, if I'm at work, and instead of listening to music while I'm working, I'll just work. So, you wanna go back out? You can go. All right, fine. My dog doesn't know what she wants to do. So yeah, I think my cigar went out. It's basically done anyway. Sorry, my dog was being crazy. I had to put her back inside. She wanted to play. But anyway, I suppose those are all the thoughts I really had. I'm gonna keep trying to do better. Probably report back to this channel on how my progress is going, but I'm gonna focus more on, you know, more better things to spend my time on, whether that be art, even if I'm bad at it, or you know, well, my garden I'll be taking care of soon. I also got a house plant that I'll be taking care of. I kind of want to start having some house plants in my room so that I can have those to take care of, plus my garden outside, you know, and just having more wholesome things like that to focus on rather than wasting time, because that's what I do a lot of in my free time, is just waste time. It's awful. It just, you know, again, like I said, I don't even feel like a human sometimes, you know. I mean, I do feel like a human, but what I mean is that free time is often just spent wasted just on nothing, and it just feels awful. It feels awful after the fact, you know, looking back and being like, that's all I did for an hour or something. It feels terrible. It feels like such a waste. And I think a lot of people struggle with that. And I think a lot of people understand where I'm coming from, probably. I don't think I'm alone in this at all, because it's very difficult, because everyone has a phone, everyone has a computer, everybody has technology to just plug into and forget about their problems and just mindlessly waste time until the next thing they have to go do. And so I think a lot of people can understand where I'm coming from. So if anybody out there sees this, I challenge you to also, you know, try to join me and try to cut technology out of your life. Well, no, not cut technology. Cut the mindless consumption, the distraction, the overuse of technology out of your life, and try to focus on better things instead of that. And use technology, you know, watch YouTube, watch movies, play video games responsibly, and, you know, just don't use it to waste time, you know. Use it to enjoy those gifts, and just use it responsibly. So that's my message, I guess, for the day. And I'll see you guys when I upload next.